Hi, it's Amy from California.
Hi, this is Andee from the Midwest. I'm from Minnesota.
Men's personal care is the second fastest growing segment of the personal care industry. But guys, did you know that there are products specifically for you?
In our first episode of the Cleen Edit, we break down one of our listeners' personal care routines and share some clean swaps along with all of our listeners, plus a couple of ways to advocate for safer men's health products. This is Coast to the Heart.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Coast to the Heart. I'm Amy, your skincare enthusiast from California.
And I'm Andee. I geek out on ingredient safety, and we're here to talk about clean beauty, ingredient safety, and helping you ditch harmful chemicals from your personal care routine. This episode is extra special because it's the last one for Men's Health Month.
Yes, it is. And the last one of birthday month, sadly for me.
Cheers.
But we're super excited to announce a brand new segment of our show called The Cleen Edit.
The Cleen Edit has 2 E's, by the way. If you're like picking up on that, it's like Andee with 2 E's, Amy with 2 E's, the Cleen Edit. That's where you, our listeners.
We're so clever.
We're so clever. This is where you, our listeners, can submit your personal care product routines for us to review. So we check out the ingredients. We make recommendations for safer swaps. You can get on a future podcast episode by DMing us on Instagram at Coast to the Heart to be featured on an upcoming episode.
I can't wait to hear from some of you guys. Okay, for our first installment, we are reviewing the routine of Brody from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Brody, thank you so much for being our first submission. We are excited to break down your routine. So we're going to break it down and highlight some ingredients of concern. Brody uses a mix of drugstore brands and some specialized prestige products as well. Here's a summary. Okay, we're going to take you to Brody's shower. His routine is Kirkland Signature Moisture Shampoo and Conditioner, which is super affordable, available, and convenient from Costco. It comes in large containers, so something I'm sure many of you listeners can relate to and probably have in your shower as well. He also uses Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser, a staple for sensitive skin, and then Kirkland Signature Liquid Body Wash in natural citrus. And this covers his entire body. After the shower, Brody uses a Cetaphil moisturizing lotion, another sensitive skin-friendly product, and then something called, which I've not heard of this, the Blue Stuff from Face Foundry, an occasional use product recommended for after having facials. For deodorant, Brody uses Degree Men's Ultra Clear Black and White Fresh 72-hour. Wow. I'm not sure about the ingredients in that, Brody, if it's keeping you fresh for 72 hours. 72-hour antiperspirant and deodorant dry spray. He prefers it because, for its packaging.
And I think he sent us a note on that. It's the packaging is that because it's a spray. And I know that's really important to men, having that aerosol component so that they're sure that they're getting like every little bit covered. So
yeah. And we all know we don't love aerosols for our environment. So we'll talk to you more about that one too, Brody. Hair care, he uses Tresemme Extra Hold Unscented Hairspray. Affordable with good hold, he says. Now, one thing you guys might notice, I've already, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on like the 7th product. We talked about this in previous episodes that men on average use 9 products a day, which surprises, I think, a lot of men. But Brody is a perfect example of what all those products are. Sometimes we don't think about all these things as like, oh, wait, yeah, I do use that and I do use that. And they all have effects on our health and the environment. He's also trying out a Tresemme Dry Texture Finishing Hairspray. And then also Not Your Mother's Beach Babe Texturizing Sea Salt Spray. Okay, just based on the name of that, I'd try that too, Brody. That sounds fun. And then for shaving, he uses a men's shave cream from Goodfellow and Company. Doesn't use it very often. And then also uses Gillette Sensitive Plus Shave Gel. He chooses that because of the sensitive skin formulation, which I know a lot of men experience sensitive skin. So that makes perfect sense and probably another commonly used product. For oral care, Sensodyne Advanced Whitening Toothpaste and Listerine Ultra Clean Cool Mint Mouthwash. A good Costco deal, he says. For sunscreen, he's using Beauty Counter's Countersun Daily Sheer Defense for Face, uses that year round. And then finally, his cologne, his final touch to his routine is a Gentleman's Eau de Parfum by Givenchy.
I mean,
So,
finishing touch, chef's kiss on a
yeah.
very full and robust routine. But Aimee, you pointed it out. I mean, we think about when we talk about personal care products. Personal care product is anything that touches your skin or that you put on your body. So even back when when you and I were talking to Congress in 2022 and we were meeting with a lot of men, it was one of those things that we say everyone uses personal care products. Well, no, I'm bald. I don't use personal care products. Okay. Do you brush your teeth? That's a personal care product. Do you
Mm-hmm.
wear deodorant?
Mm-hmm.
That's a personal care product. Those are personal care products. So this is something for men, women, families, children. This is why we are so passionate about overhauling this. So right now I'm picturing Brody with this great hair. Sometimes he seldom shaves. He's got some great skin that he cares about. He's got some sensitive skin. Like he's really doing the work, especially with wearing some sunscreen. That's not something that even in Minnesota we just wear in the summertime. You need to wear that all year round. So we're talking about someone here who really is aware of personal care, which is very important, and reach out to us to say, okay, I'm trying to do the best I can, right? We always aim to live by the 80-20 rule. It's really important to Aimee and I that you understand that we are not here to judge, shame, or tell you to throw everything out the door. We are very conscious of sustainability first and foremost. So anytime we make a clean swap recommendation on the Cleen Edit, use up what you have first. When it's time for you to switch, try to find something that is, not only effective, but safe and good for you and for the planet. So we're going to walk through a couple of those right now. We're not going to call out every single ingredient, but there's some recurring themes here. So going back to shampoo and conditioner, the number one things that you're going to find in shampoos and conditioner are sulfates and parabens. Those can be potentially irritating and harmful, especially over time. So again, always think about when you're trying to edit your personal care routine that you're thinking about the products that you use every single day, right? So that is your shampoo, it's your conditioner, it's your deodorant, it's your shave cream. Those are things that those products are actually marketed to you, but you need to find the safer and clean brands. So look for ones that are sulfate free, that do not include SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate, or parabens. Parabens are typically something that begins with a methyl or an ethyl in the ingredient. And again, we always share great apps that you can discreetly put on your phone when you're shopping in your favorite big box store. You can use the Clearia app. You can use the EWG verified app called Healthy Living. There's lots of ways that while you might be, let's just say hypothetically, using your Cartwheel app, you can pop open those safety apps and no one will know that you're looking at the dirty ingredients. Right. So same thing goes back to like men, and those who are using safer skincare or for sensitive skin, Cetaphil or Cetaphil is a very gentle cleanser. Again, you need to look for the parabens that can be in there. They do make versions of that, especially their acne control collection that does not include parabens, that does have the allowable doses of salicylic acid that are safe to use on a daily basis. So just become aware of what you're looking for and try to avoid those parabens, because endocrine disruption is not just something that matters to women's health. It matters especially to men's health and especially for future generations. So pay attention to that. We love talking about sweat, and I think especially for men, we can all agree in the summertime we sweat more than we do in the winter time. So now you're going to say if you're ready to switch from an antiperspirant to a clean deo, you're probably going to notice that transition a little bit more than you would than in the cooler months in the winter time. But there's never a wrong time to start switching to a safer deodorant. The reason why we might caution someone against using an antiperspirant, and especially a spray, is number one, antiperspirants contain aluminum compounds, aluminum salts that are intended to clog your pores to prevent you from sweating. Now, the reason why we try to avoid aluminum salts is that they mimic estrogen. And now, men, you also have estrogen in your body, just not as much as women. And so it is going to actually affect your hormones on a way that you probably aren't considering on a daily basis, but you're using it every single day. So what also comes along with a spray potentially is benzene contaminants. And you might not have heard about benzene contaminants in aerosol deodorants, but you probably heard about it last year and the year before in sunscreens that were recalled by major brands like Aveeno and Neutrogena that had to recall and take those products off the shelves because their aerosol cans contained benzene, which was a carcinogen. So we're going to try to help you come up with some safer swaps to find a deo that not only performs, but that smells good and that you like. And lastly, we're going to come back around and talk about that mouthwash in just a minute, because the biggest thing about oral care is that it is flavored. You could just use straight up hydrogen peroxide and water to swish your mouth and get the bacteria out and have fresh, clean breath and teeth, but that does not taste very good. Let's just be really honest. So that's why the advent and marketing of an actual actual Cool Mint mouthwash is doing effectively the same thing, but it tastes good. Now, the way that it tastes good is not always natural. Oftentimes it's synthetic. And that is something that is a completely unregulated part or underregulated part of the personal care product industry.
Yes, absolutely. And one thing I just want to mention too, we're very excited about these clean edit episodes. Is notice we call it the clean edit. I oftentimes when I would talk about switching to clean products, I would call it the clean swap, which can maybe make it sound like we want you to change out everything. We want you to just let's edit what you're using. It's okay. A lot of these products, Brody, you should still keep using, but just be aware, like Andee said, and do a little bit more education and have the tools to make better choices. And if you want to continue to use all these things, great. But now you have the knowledge and the education. So I'm excited to be doing this like edit instead of like just throw everything away and start over again. We want to help you sort of edit through and help you make those decisions together. So on that note, why don't we dish out some safer alternatives that we love?
So, Amy and I know that a lot of you like to listen to us while you're driving around in the car, while you're working out, while you're running, maybe while you're doing dishes or vacuuming. But we also know a lot of you like to hop on YouTube and peek behind the scenes and actually see us joking back and forth and laughing along with your favorite podcasters that you happen to watch on YouTube. So, guess what? You can now find us on YouTube at Coast to the Heart.
And if you're enjoying what you're hearing on Coast to the Heart, we would love it if you would comment, like, and subscribe.
Okay, so let's dish out some of these alternatives. We're not going to go through the whole clean routine. You can hop to our show notes. We'll also share it on Instagram as well, so we can go through and give you a full rundown of the clean edit recommendations for the AM routine. But we talked and stopped a little bit and talked about 3 products that we do want to give some safer clean edits for. We're going to talk about deodorant, face wash, and shave cream. 3 products for men that I really think most folks at some point in their lives have used one or all 3 of those. So in our house, deodorant, Cleen Deo is something that really has to meet the sweat test, whether we're working out, whether we're mowing the lawn, whether we're driving kids to and from school. That's something that we don't mess around with. But again, remember that sweat is clear, sweat is odorless. So if you are worried about the smell of not wearing an antiperspirant, what that actually is the bacteria that grows in your underarm areas after it's being clogged with an antiperspirant. All of that yuck and gunk just kind of sits there. That's what that smell and that odor is. That's why your t-shirts are turning yellow. When you switch to a deodorant and you let all those toxins come out naturally, natural sweat actually dries very quickly. And like I said, it does not smell. So what deodorant actually does is just simply offer you a pleasant scent in case you need it. So that's why, again, we love to use 3 brands that we love. My first clean swap and switch was over to Primarily Pure. That was a great brand also for men because it has a lovely charcoal scent. And it's a great brand that has many other clean products that we love. I've recently started using Shackley as a deo. That's something that I use because I work out regularly and I'm a mom on the go and on the run. I love that brand. The other brand that another listener recommended is Each and Every. And we looked into that one, Amy, and Each and Every is a great brand that's EWG verified as well. So right out of the gate, those are 3 brands that we would encourage you to consider switching to based on their efficacy and their safety for you and for the planet. Amy, what are a couple face washes that you use in your house that you would recommend?
So we have been trying a couple of different ones, especially for my husband in particular. And one thing we talked about in a previous episode, you guys, one of the reasons why men's personal care products are so important to actually have them available for you is your skin is different than women's. Your skin is 25% thicker. Your pores actually get larger as you get older, and your skin is oilier. So it's important to look for products that are designed specifically for men. And so we're very excited to sort of remind you all that there is a whole world of products out there for you. In fact, it's the second fastest growing segment of personal care products in the sales space, which is pretty exciting. So you guys keep buying your stuff that's good for you. So for face wash in our family, my husband and son have been using Beauty by Earth. We really like that brand. A lot of their products are EWG verified as well, priced really friendly. And they have a nice face wash. It's a foaming face wash, but no sulfates, all clean foam. And then also Dime's foaming face wash. That brand is called Dime, Dime. We're really liking their foaming face wash as well. It's light and it really has been cleaning off, especially for men. Like my guys wear sunscreen during the day. So it's been really effective at cleaning that off. So those are 2 brands that we are really enjoying. And then what about shaving cream, Andee? That's always something that I actually use it as well. So we actually have been using something called Jack Fur, which I went on the EWG website because I wanted to find out what a clean option was when I couldn't get my beauty counter shaving cream anymore. So it's called Jack Fur Classic Shaving Cream, and it's an EWG verified shaving cream. It goes on really smoothly and provides a great shave for all of us.
I love it. Is it a foam or a cream?
It's a foam. It's kind of a combination. So it
Okay.
does foam, but it's not like a Barbasol foam where you can make what looks like a sundae coming out of your hand. So it's kind of a combination between a foam and a cream.
Yeah, my husband rocks a full beard, so that's not happening in our house. My daughter actually did just buy shaving foam to make slime, so that's what we
Oh, well,
use
there
it
you
for
go.
in our house.
There you go.
Those are three great clean swaps, and this good guy who wrote in, he has an equally as amazing evening routine as well. And I want to just run through a couple of those because again, using a couple of the products that perhaps we hadn't mentioned were Brody uses the Neutrogena Makeup Remover and Hydro Boost Ultra Soft Cleansing Towelettes. Now, towelettes are very similar to women's makeup wipes, right? And I think the key ingredient on that, in addition to looking for sulfates and parabens and fragrance, the artificial fragrance parfum label, is to find out if they're biodegradable. So biodegradable wipes, even if they're towelettes, are very, very important. And you're going to see more and more brands who are starting to move in that direction. Honest Company is a great makeup remover and towelette for cleaning your face. And, just like paper towels, makeup remover wipes and towelettes take forever to degrade in the landfill. So really, if you're into that quick clean swipe, even if you're like after the gym, make sure that you're looking for a wipe that's biodegradable. A couple of the other products that we're using more of the CeraVe, which is again a loved product. In the evening, Brody uses their retinol face serum, and it's important to see and to know that retinol product, especially a derivative of vitamin A or retinol palmitate should not be worn in the sun. That's why you're going to find it in a lot of evening creams and evening routines and regimens. If you are wearing it outside during the day, you must slather your face in sunscreen, because not only is it something that will exacerbate or accelerate the growth of moles and lesions on your face, but it also is something that, again, is photosensitive. So that's why if you are going to choose to use a retinol product or a vitamin A or retinol palmitate derivative, you will want to only use that at night. The other thing, Aimee, that I did want to call out without going really deep down the list, again, we're going to share the full list in the full Cleen edit later with all of our listeners. But one of the beloved products that he says he uses is Jack Black Lip Balm. It's the only lip balm that his fiance will use. And so they buy it in bulk. So, Aimee, let's talk about a couple of the ingredients and a couple of the products. We did see some ingredients jump off the page at us that we do want to talk about. But let's just kind of dive into this evening routine a little bit from this loyal listener.
Okay, awesome. Yes. So some of the products with ingredients of concern that I notice on Brody's list are one, you mentioned the makeup remover and cleansing towelettes. These often contain synthetic fragrances, which can be super irritating to the skin. As we know, we may not know what's creating that fragrance. We're working on that, of course. But and then wipes themselves are just not environmentally friendly. And any kind of single-use product, you use it once, you throw it away. If you can use some, I love these clean towelettes from oh my gosh, I'm going to put it in the show notes. I think it's called the Cleen Skincare Club, but they're great. They're huge. They're biodegradable. So there are definitely options for that. In his Cetaphil moisturizing lotion, again, contains parabens. We talked about that with his morning routine as well. We would love for you all to avoid parabens if possible. They're hormone disruptors and just not, a good ingredient we want to see being used. And then, Andee, you mentioned the negative side effects of retinol. Retinol is an ingredient that is in my book definitely not clean and something that I avoid altogether. But if you are going to use it, make sure, like Andee said, it's just at nighttime. And then that Jack Black lip balm. I've seen Jack Black. Well, I love him as an actor. I don't even know if the brand is related to him at all, but I've definitely seen that brand around. This lip balm alone, you guys, contains octinoxate, which you may remember from our sunscreen episode, is an ingredient that the state of Hawaii has banned from being sold in their entire state because of its link to bleaching the reefs and affecting the fish in the ocean. Avobenzone, which hasn't been banned by Hawaii, but is definitely on a list of ingredients they don't want you to use, and petrolatum, which Andee and I have talked about in other episodes as well. It's petroleum. It's a derivative of gasoline. It dries your lips. There's so many negative side effects. These are all potential carcinogens and endocrine disruptors. So lips, you guys remember 3 different ways it can affect your body. You ingest what you have on your lips, it is absorbed through your lips, and you also can pass it along to your fiance or whoever else you might be kissing. So lips are somewhere you really want to go clean. And Brody, I'm just going to say, please, let's swap out that Jack Black lip balm.
A brand that I might actually recommend, because of what I'm hearing and seeing, is that he also loves it because it has SPF protection. One of the things, you named avobenzone, octinoxate. One of the things that we tend to forget as men is, I think most men love a good chapstick, right? They want soft lips, and that's, hey, we love that for them too. But the lips are something that we often forget to put sunscreen on. We put sunscreen on our face, on our body, but what about our lips? That really fine, thin skin that we have. There's a great brand that I love called Attitude. They have a fun line called Sunly, and those are EWG verified products that are safe and yummy to put on your lips. And so those are a couple that we'll link. They have a great coconut flavor. And the thing that we want to, Pure Haven is another brand that has always had a lip balm. It's a little bit more of like a mineral sunscreen for your lips. So I'd say put that on if you're like going to the beach, but for daily use, I really like Attitude and their Sunly collection. So that would be a good safer swap. And then the last thing we wanted to talk about.
I did, Andee. I also
go ahead. Yeah, what's one that you love?
Oh, I was just going to say, sorry to interrupt, but I also found, Sun Bum is one of those brands that I think a lot of people, because of the packaging, the greenwashing, think is clean, and unfortunately, a lot of their sunscreens are not. But I did find also a lip balm from Sun Bum, so I'll put that in the show notes as well. That's a coconut flavor as well, and it has SPF, and it's been saving my family's lips.
Yes. See, the more we talk about this, the more we learn, right?
Yeah.
Imagine like Rainbow Shooting Star, the more you know. It's like my favorite part of this whole chat that we're doing together. Okay. So on that note, Amy, let's just tie it back to why we care so much for our men about artificial flavors and fragrances, because we don't go through this clean edit to help you edit your routine and to say, oh, this product is great, this product is not so great, to really drag you through the mud on that. It's really to help call attention to the woefully underregulated personal care product industry. And this segment for men, that is the second largest segment, is being overlooked. And especially when you have, again, all of the scents and flavors worked into products that are targeted specifically for them. Let's bring it back to what Amy and I love the most. Let's talk a little bit about legislation and how we can actually help the U.S. impart and put new laws, more health protective laws out there around this specific category.
Absolutely. Like you just said, Andee, our passion is advocacy. And so while we want to help share cleaner swaps with you all, we're doing it because we want to make change happen in the industry. And the more that you all make choices around the products that you purchase and you start purchasing safer products, it's going to send a message that we're demanding cleaner options. And so one way to do that is through purchasing, and another way to do it is through advocating. So one thing, Andee, and I have been talking about is the Safer Beauty Bill package. And specifically, the piece of that ties into a lot of what we talked about today is HR 3621, which is the Cosmetic Fragrance and Flavor Right to Know Act. Tell us a little bit more about that, Andee.
Yeah, so this act requires that product labels and websites would disclose those secret, unlabeled, and often toxic chemicals that are in our everyday personal care products. What you might find on web crawlers or on websites is that brands are trying to do better. They're trying to become more transparent, but they're only listing key ingredients or active ingredients because there's no law that's requiring full transparency. And this is so crucial because, like we saw in Brody's routine, many of those products he uses contain undisclosed flavors and fragrances that could have those harmful chemicals that, again, placed on your body morning, evening, 365, okay, maybe 355 days a year, have cumulative buildup in your body. And again, it's not just your body, it's future generations as well.
Absolutely. And these undisclosed chemicals could be carcinogens, reproductive toxicants, neurotoxicants, allergens, and more. It's time we demand transparency.
Absolutely. And if this episode, if anything, has made you feel empowered to take action, there's a really great way to become an advocate without spending $1 or spending a dime. Go to Breast Cancer Prevention Partners at bcpp.org/take-action. action. So bcpp.org/take-action. That's where you can click a button to support the Safer Beauty Bill package. Click the Take Action button, fill out your name. It'll help you send a letter directly to your members of Congress asking for their support to co-sponsor this bill and this package.
It's that simple. And if you can ask 20 of your friends to do the same thing, remember, it just takes 21 reach outs to your legislative office for that issue to be researched and elevated to put on that legislator's desk to be considered. So your voice absolutely matters, as we will continue to say over and over again. Thank you so much for tuning into Coast to the Heart. Remember to DM us your personal care routines. We would love to feature you on the next Cleen with 2 E's edit. And you can DM us on Instagram at Coast to the Heart.
We cannot wait to review more of your routines and help you make safer choices. This is all about recommendations with love, topics that are close to our hearts. So until next time, keep it clean, keep it safe, and you know what? Keep it fun at the same time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.